Hello and welcome to episode 52 of the Fast Heart Mart Podcast. I am your host, Fast Heart Mart, and while everybody gets in here, I'm going to play a song by the Grateful Dead. Thanks for liking this video and sharing it and commenting. Thanks for tipping me at the Venmo sign here and all the links down below. And this song's called Touch of Grey. And the episode 52 is called 22nd birthday party in Los Angeles. So I'm going to talk about that today. I played at a birthday party last week up in Los Angeles and for a 22-year-old woman. And I'm going to talk about that experience. It was a good experience. And maybe I shouldn't have given away. I just gave everything away. Should have left you hanging. I didn't know. All right. The song's called Touch of Grey by the Grateful Dead. Must be getting early, clocks are running late. Pimp on number morning sky, yeah, looks so phony. Dawn is breaking everywhere, light a candle, curse to clear. Draw your curtains, I don't care, 'cause it's alright. I will get by. I will get by. I will get by. I will survive. You got your fist out, say your piece and get out. Yes, I get the gist of it, but it's alright. Sorry that you feel that way. The only thing that is to say, every silver lining has a touch of grey. I will get by. I will get by. I will get by. I will survive. Dog has not been fed in years. It's even worse than it appears, but it's alright. Cow is given kerosene. Kid can read at 17. Words he knows are all obscene, but it's alright. I will get by. I will get by. I will get by. I will survive. Shoes on her and it fits, really nothing much to it. Whistle through your teeth and spit, 'cause that's alright. Oh well, a touch of grey kinda suits you anyway. That is all I have to say, yeah. It's alright. I will get by. I will get by. I will get by. I will survive. We will get by. We will get by. We will get by. We will survive. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, let me just check and make sure this live stream's working. I gotta always make sure this thing's working because sometimes it doesn't. You know how it goes. Give me a second though, peeps. Hopefully it's on. Man, it's madness switching over to something like this. It's like a whole different situation. I know I've said that like every time I've live streamed, but there's always something here, man. I was having technical problems right before this one too, as the things were cracking and popping on this microphone. I got a new microphone, which is cool. I really like it. Yeah. It says it's live. All right, good. It says 3 people are viewing it right now. That's cool. Say hello on the chat if you want, if you can. And yeah, I got a new microphone. This thing's it's called a Sennheiser. What is it? The 965 Sennheiser. And let me fix my hair really quick. I've been having a weird hair day. I'm parting my hair on the side a little bit these days. Kind of looks cool, but this little spike will come right here in the middle of my forehead and make me look like a dork, which I'm a dork anyway, but I got to try not to be. But yeah, I got this new microphone. It was like a $500 microphone. I got it on sale. Oh, I got a used one for $250. It was pretty much brand new. Dennis Driscoll says hi. Hey, Dennis, thanks for tuning in, bud. Appreciate it. I met your brother the other day, Tom. I met him again at the hardware store, and he's a great artist, a sculptor, and my mom and dad are there. Okay, cool. Hey, Mom and Dad, thanks for tuning in. Sounds great. Good. Yeah, the sound should be getting better every episode. Seriously, I'm tweaking things constantly, and that's why I have to do these elaborate sound checks every episode because I'm always changing equipment. I'm changing reverb settings. If you notice, the reverb should sound really good on the vocals today. It's this reverb here. It goes like this. It's like... It's this reverb here that I'm singing through. It's basically a nice ambient spread, which is a real subtle reverb, and then a little bit of a room reverb as well. So when I get off the mic and it's like I'm like shouting it out, it doesn't sound too harsh, right? So like right now, if I were to right, that doesn't sound too bad. But when I have it, nothing on there, it's like pretty harsh, like that, right? Sorry if that hurt your ears. But if I go, yeah, it's not as bad. It's hard to tell probably on there, but hey, Lori Van, all right, tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. And so yeah, anyway, back to the microphone. I got this new microphone. I'm always tweaking stuff because I'm a sound guy. I'm like really I love sound. They call you an audiophile, which I'm reluctant to say that term anymore because a file, any kind of files, you know what I'm saying. But they call us audiophiles if you're like super into sound. I'm like super into sound, but cheap sound, like cheaper, affordable side of things because I don't have a whole lot of money. I've got money, but I don't have a ton of money. But I got this microphone, this Sennheiser 965. It's a condenser microphone, meaning it needs phantom power. And it's a super cardioid pattern, so it gets a really close pattern, so it doesn't pick up the banjo as much, which is a tough thing because the banjo is so loud. Usually the vocal mic will pick it up. So anyway, got a new microphone, new reverb settings, and all that stuff every week, tweaking stuff. I should get to a place where everything's. Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, I really care. I care a lot about my sound, and Most of us musicians do. We like to have good sound. So, especially when you're going through the matrix here, everything has to be good. It has to sound good because otherwise, did that camera just turn? I think it did. I just turned that back. That's all I have to do. Just turn it back. All right. So I was gonna tell a story about a gig I played last week in L.A. and I got this gig through a company called Gig Salad, which is a website called gigsalad.com. And I've been with this company for like 10 years. It's actually gotten me a lot of good gigs over the years. If you're a musician, I got grandfathered in. I got a free account. I've been with them so long. I get a free account. But if you're a musician and you need gigs, they book gigs all over the world, gigsalad.com. And I should get paid from them for promoting them. Maybe I'll send them in this video. I'm looking for sponsors, by the way. If you need a sponsor, if you want to sponsor this podcast, please let me know. I have a friend. She suggested that, so I think she's right. I think I should do that. So, anyway, I through Gig Salad, I've gotten gigs all over the place, and you can get gigs all over the world with gigsalad.com. But a lot of the gigs come in and just not right. People they'll be like, "Well, can you learn how to play the Beverly Hillbillies?" And I'll be like, "No." I mean, I'm not against that song. It's a great song. That's Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt, and all that stuff. But I just don't know that song. You know what? I get sick of, to be honest, I get sick of people pigeonholing me just because I'm playing a banjo that I'm going to play, I'm going to play the Beverly Hillbillies or whatever. And sure, I'm sure that's a common misconception or whatever. But it's kind of like saying, well, just because you play electric guitar, you're gonna play some Steve Vai, or some like crazy good guitar player. It's like, no, I don't even play that kind of music. It's like different. It's a different kind of music. So I get offended by that. We all get offended about stuff. I get offended by the fact that people genre me. They misgenre me. And they just want to make me bluegrass because I'm playing banjo, which is not true. I'm gonna fix this. And that camera keeps moving because there's a cord here and I keep hitting it and it's moving. If you're listening on Spotify, sorry, it's just the camera's moving. So, and now I've got too much of that side of the room. Hang on. But yeah, I get offended. I get super offended by people misgenreing me, but that's okay. But a lot of times when I get gigs on Gig Salad, that's what it is. People are like, "Oh, can you play this song and that song?" And I'll be like, "No, I don't know any of those songs." I know some standards, of course, bluegrass standards and stuff, some good standards with integrity, I guess. The Beverly Hillbillies song, it's got integrity, I guess. It's a fun song or whatever, but it's also kind of hokey, man. I mean, a lot of this bluegrass stuff can be really hokey, and I think when they wrote that song, they were trying to be hokey, they made a lot of money off that song when they wrote it, those musicians, Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. Jeffrey Stork's here. Hey, Jeffrey, welcome. Looks like everybody's in San Diego today except for my parents, I think, right? Maybe. Lori, are you in San Diego today? Lori travels a lot, I think. So anyway, so on Gig Salad, I get all these crazy gigs and stuff. And then this one gig came in, I don't know, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And this young lady was having a 22nd birthday party in Los Angeles. And I live in San Diego, as I just mentioned. And that is a long 100-mile drive. It's about 100, maybe 120 miles from San Diego to the heart of LA, which is like downtown LA, I guess. And that's a long 120 miles. It takes forever because of all the traffic, and you never know if you're going to hit traffic, depending on what time of day you go. And so I was reluctant to take this gig, but I saw it had a pretty good budget, and I was like, okay. So I came in just a little under her budget, and I quoted her, and then she wrote me back, and she was like excited because I'd sent her my YouTube, and she looked at the YouTube, and she goes, "I love your song, Hearts and Dreams, Follow Your Heart and Your Dreams." And I was like, whoa, this girl really, she likes my original stuff, which is always, if you ever like want to flatter a musician, like request their original songs, because that is the biggest form of flattery for musicians, is to ask for their songs. And that's what she did. She like watched my YouTube channel and she liked it, and so we worked it all out. And I was still a little bit like, oh man, what am I getting myself into? But I did it, and I drove up to Los Angeles last Wednesday. I think I left at about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon because it was like a 2.5 hour drive. So, and the party was starting at 6. So I wanted to be there by 5 at the latest. So I left at 2. And the drive wasn't that bad. It was actually one of the best drives I've ever had. I ended up on one toll road. You guys ever notice how when you're driving sometimes these days, you end up on a toll road and you don't even know it? And you're like, you don't even know how to pay it. And you've got all these transponders that you've bought in the past for the tolls, but you're like, do I even have any money in my account? Because I don't even remember the last time I was on a toll road. It's crazy. It's like more and more you go places. I was even in the middle of Kansas one time. I'm serious. I was driving from Wichita, Kansas to somewhere in northern Kansas, and I was on a toll road the whole time. I didn't even know how to pay. It was a great road. It was super nice and paved really well and in the middle of nowhere. But the whole time I'm thinking, how much is this going to cost me to be on this really nice road? Same thing happened on the way to LA through Orange County. Orange County has some really nice roads, toll roads. And Orange County has a lot of nice things going on for it. It also has some really, some not so nice things. But, of course, you take the good with the bad. That's everything in life, right? There's a positive and negative to almost everything. But ended up on this toll road and in Orange County. I think I paid it this morning. I went on their site was down for a few days, so I wasn't able to pay it till today. And I think I paid. I'm still not even sure. I'm not even sure if I paid the toll. So I paid $8, I think, is what it said on my account. So we'll see. It's just one of those things, right? If you don't pay these tolls, maybe like one day they're just gonna pull you over and take you to jail because like you got like $600 worth of tolls that you've never paid or whatever. It's like, what? How did that happen? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think probably a lot of people feel that way. So anyway, hit one toll road on the way to LA. And it was a nice road, and then the traffic wasn't too bad. I seem to pick the right lane most of the time. Every once in a while, I get in the wrong lane and be stuck, like while everybody else is passing me to the right or whatever, But for the most part, it was a nice, easy drive, and I get to the gig, and I called her up, and she and all these kids came out to my car and loaded all my gear in for me, which I don't have that much gear, but right now I'm kind of switching. Like I said, I'm switching all my equipment up. I've built this new pedal board at my feet here, so I had them carry in all my equipment, and they were really nice. And I was like, okay, cool. These kids are really nice. I call them kids. They're 22 years old. I'm 46. They seem like they're really young. That's really young. So, oh, Lori, I know you're from Nate's. Oh, cool. Awesome. Are you going to be there this Friday? I'm going to be playing at Nate's this Friday. So anyway, these kids were really nice, and they helped me get my gear in. And yeah, like I said, they're really young. 22 years old. For me, is like really young. When I was 22, I felt like I was old. If you're in your 20s, you're not old, guys. If you're in your 30s even, you're not old. I think it's when you hit 45, in my experience, that's when you start to notice things start to go awry. And in England, they call them, like glasses and spectacles are called 45s because typically when somebody turns 45, they start losing their sight, and they have to have, that's why I wear these are prescription sunglasses. I'd rather just like not wear anything, but I wouldn't be able to see the chat from here, who's on the chat. And then when I wear my glasses, there's a few lights in here, so I just put these sunglasses on, and it looks cool too, man. I know I look cool like this. So anyway, yeah, these kids were really young, and if you're below 45, people, just know you're really young. So, and I'm 46, but I think I'm a young 46, and I'll tell you about that later. That's part of the story, actually. And I get it there, and I set up to play, and the kids they're telling me to set up on this porch, and it's this big, I guess they call it a brownstone, right? Or it's an huge old house. I mean, it's huge. I found out later there was 30 people living in this house. But I don't know if it was a frat house or sorority house. I never found out for sure. But it seemed like it. It seemed like this whole street was like these big houses with probably fraternities and sororities. But I'd be assuming. And it was at the University of Southern California. I've been to UCLA many times. I've never actually been to the campus of the University of Southern California, and it wasn't that far from downtown. So I was a little concerned about that, to be honest, because as we all know, downtown LA these days is it's an interesting scene. I don't think interesting is the word. It's a what's the word? It's not diabolical. It's just it's a very complex scene, I guess, downtown LA. And then not all over, I guess, but there's a lot of it. Anyway, just like downtown San Diego's the same way. There's sections of downtown San Diego. It's basically just it's a homeless encampment now. And it goes on and on and on. I remember my friend Josh came to visit me from Virginia for the first time he'd ever left. I think it was the first time he'd ever left Virginia, and he came to visit me. And he got to see that side of downtown San Diego with all these unfortunate homeless people everywhere. I hope you don't, when I speak about the homeless or the house free or the, what do they call them? Anyway, the homeless people, when I talk about the homeless people, I try to be respectful, of course. I mean, I know everybody gets down on their luck. Lord knows I've been close a few times. I thought, well, I'm going to end up under a bridge. I guess we all have, and we all are very concerned. Most decent people are very concerned about the situation. As we know, the middle class is disappearing, blah, blah, blah. But now we have all these homeless encampments everywhere. So anyway, I was close to downtown LA at this frat house, I guess it was. And these young ladies were very attractive. I'll just say that. I'm not saying, I'm not being like inappropriate or anything like that. They're just attractive ladies, young ladies. I mean, of course, I'm a man. I notice this stuff, I mean, and then all these dudes start showing up too, and it was cool, man. All these, and it just more and more. And by the end of the night, I guess by the time I played, I think there was probably 50 people there, and she seemed to be a very popular young lady. And I'll just say the whole time I was playing, people were just telling me like how much they love what I was doing, and they were dancing and having a good time, offering me drinks, and it was very, very nice scene, and it was very respectful, and I was really relieved because here's why. Sometimes in this business, the entertainment business, you could start to feel, you remember Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons, how he would be like, he didn't have much integrity. He was just kind of doing it, and then behind the scenes, he'd be like, "These kids, I don't like these kids," or and I just sometimes I feel like, man, am I gonna be like the Krusty the Clown at this gig, like these young people, and not that I feel young. I mean, I'll talk about that later, but anyway, I didn't. I ended up feeling like, man, I was in the right place at the right time. I got paid really well. She tipped me well in cash, and I ended up hanging out there a little bit afterwards and having a couple drinks, and the kids were just like, "We can't tell how old you are," and I was like, "Well, that's cool. I mean," and they're like, "How old are you?" And I was like, 46. I'm 46, and they're like, "We would have never guessed." And I was like, "I don't feel 46. I feel like I could be 22." And cheers, I had a couple drinks with them and stuff. And I know I go back and forth about that. I know I talk about that all the time. And the more I talk about it on this podcast and like expose myself, I really don't think I have a drinking problem. I drink, when I'm at my gigs sometimes and stuff like that. And I know by this age, most people probably don't drink at all. And I respect that. I think it's a good idea not to. It's probably a good idea to never drink. But these kids were having drinks, and I had a couple drinks with them, and we were just sitting there, and a couple of these guys came up, and they seemed to really admire me. They were just like, "Wow, you do this for a living, like full time?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. I don't know what it is, but this always works out for me. Whenever I play music full time, it always seems to work out." And I have to respect that. It seems like this is what life wants me to do. I'm being called to play music, and I always like to spread that message to these young people because I know what it's like to be their age and thinking like, what am I going to do for a living and for work and to make money in this world? And I think it's really nice for them to meet somebody like myself that is making it and is doing it, So let me play a song now of mine. It is called "Just Getting Started." I went really far. That was a long story, okay? And I think I told the whole thing. If I didn't, I'll tell some more after this song. It's been a long ride in this life of mine. Many years I froze like in the Arctic. I got lost in the desert down and broken hearted. And look at me now, I am just getting started. There's been many times I didn't think I could survive. By the grace of God, I've been lion-hearted. Hard-working spirit, my parents have parted. Look at me now, I am just getting started. Some people believe after 40 your life is over and the fun has departed. That is a belief I have outsmarted. And look at me now, I am just getting started. It's been a long ride in this life of mine. Many years I froze like in the Arctic. Got lost in the desert down and broken hearted. And look at me now, I am just getting started. Look at me now, I am just getting started. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. How's that new mic sound out there, y'all? Does it sound as good as the other one? I know we can't compare like A, B, and right side by side, but I think this mic sounds just as good as that. The reason I got a new mic is because this SM7, which is the classic broadcast mic, they're great. This thing weighs a ton, first of all. Also, it's super awkward to place it. The placement is really awkward for a musician with an instrument. So, and since it's so heavy, you have to have like a special stand. And every week I'd use it, and I'd be like, man, this microphone, I love it. It sounds good, but it is so awkward to use. And also, it doesn't have a super tight pattern like this new one does. Like I said, it's a super cardioid. So I'm going to give you a little lesson in audio here. Cardioid, it refers to, cardioid is a heart. It's heart-shaped. So the most patterns on most microphones are called cardioid because it's a heart-shaped pattern it picks up. So when you talk directly into it, you're in the cardioid shape. But when you go around the mic and you talk behind it, you're outside of the cardioid shape, right? So if you're outside of the cardioid, or the heart shape, which is a sphere almost, but it comes in. And then, but some mics are called omnidirectional. They'll pick up all over the place. They have no direction to them, right? And then there's everything in between. Cardioid, supercardioid is like the tightest pattern, which is what this microphone is. It's super tight. This mic, this SM7, is called a cardioid, so it's a little bit broader of a pattern. So it picks up more. It picks up more of like a more broader sound, and then like an omnidirectional is like everywhere. So anyway, that's your little lesson in audio. Is if you didn't know that, most of us musicians know stuff like that. So, and I'm already 30 minutes into this podcast, and I've only played 2 songs. So I've been bantering quite a bit. I did all that, and I played that gig up there, and I was proud of myself because, I've been thinking about Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead a lot lately, and how he just kind of kept going. He played music until he was like 70 years old, and he drank and did drugs and stuff like that quite a bit. But that was his life, and he was a good guy. He was like a really good guy, and but he's in interviews. He's like saying, like, he was 49 in one interview, and he's like, "Hey, I'm 49. I'm still playing music. It's fine, whatever." So, Peter says it sounds different. I hope it's better, man. Is it better or just different or worse? Is it worse? Hopefully it's not worse. That would be, if it's worse, then it's gonna be boo. Yeah, because I just put $250 into this microphone, so I'll listen to the playback later today. But I did some tests, in the last week or so with it, and I thought it sounded pretty good, especially in the car. Car is the ultimate test, of course. But I'm going to play a song that I haven't played on this podcast before. I don't know if I played any that last song either on this podcast. That song is called Just Getting Started that I just played. It's a song I wrote about, getting older and feeling like I'm just getting started. People, some of the conspiracy theorists, which I am one, I take that name. That's a term of endearment for me, it's conspiracy theorist. Some of these conspiracy theorists think that the Anunnaki aliens came and they capped our DNA. And we used to live like hundreds of years. So that's why I might feel like when I'm 40, now that I'm 46, I'm just getting started. I feel like I'm just starting to understand this world. But anyway. No, it's good. Not as good when you are not right on the mic. Okay. So when I'm like right on the mic, it's fine. But when I'm like off the mic, if I'm off the mic too much, it's not going to be. Yeah, that's how exactly. Thanks, Peter, for the honest feedback, but no pops or anything. That's good. Does sound good. My mom says it sounds good. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. But Peter, I appreciate the honest feedback, man. I'm gonna play a song called "Amazing Grace" now because I've never played this on the podcast. Oh man, it's in a different tuning too. I gotta tune this. Maybe it's time for a joke while I'm tuning. It's Halloween season. Do you know, why didn't the skeleton cross the road? He didn't have the guts. Thank you. All right. That was the joke for the day. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank you for tipping me at the Venmo sign there, or the Venmo sign's right there, or at the links in the description to this video. Thanks for liking this video. Please like it right now. That helps a lot. And please subscribe to my channel. I take a lot of chances on this thing, man. Like when I play gigs, I have my regular songs. I have a set list of like about 100 songs that I play at my regular gigs. But on this thing, I like to do anything. I like to like go out there and I like to experiment a little bit and take some chances. So I think that's why I'm a little bit scatterbrained on this situation too. But I'm getting better. Okay, here we go. Amazing Grace. Let me know how the sound is on this. This is the reverb that I was talking about. You probably should be able to notice it. It's still a little subtle. It's not like super unnatural. It's not super natural either, but here it goes. Amazing Grace. how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, tolls, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that has brought me thus far, and grace will lead me home. And when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. I was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to say God's grace than when we first begun. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that braved a wretch like me. And I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. I was blind, but now I see. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. So yeah, I got all the way up to LA and did that gig, and it was a huge success. I felt like I was in the right place at the right time. My life was okay. My life is good. You know, as an artist or just anybody probably, sometimes we just feel like, am I doing the wrong thing with my life? Should I be living somewhere else or doing something else with my life? Should I be on an island somewhere just eating coconuts and dropping out of society altogether, or what? But that party last week. Those kids were so nice, and the money was good, and we had so much fun. I just felt like this is it, man. I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing, and it went without a hitch, except for the one thing. I had bought a new microphone for this pedal board, which I'm not using today because I left my microphone stand up there. I left my microphone stand, and I still got to get in touch with her about that because she said she'd send it down to me. I haven't heard from her, though, since I got to call her again. I think she partied, for her birth. 22, man. You party a lot when you're 22. Party for weeks at a time. I mean, I guess I did. Anyway, I don't remember. I don't actually remember. I think I did. Actually, you know what? I went through a period when I was about, I don't know, when I was about 12, I guess it was 14 to about 15, I drank quite a bit. And then from like 15 until 23, when I think I got divorced when I was 22 or 23, I didn't drink. And from like 15 to 23, I'd like my drinking career was over. I had retired. But I came out of retirement back when I was 23 and went through a divorce. Didn't, go over the deep end or anything. Thank God I've never gone over the deep end. I know people do, and that's, I don't judge, I don't judge at all. So if you have problems, if you're having problems with alcohol or substance abuse, I feel for you, man. That's not cool. I get it. And I know it's sometimes it's beyond your control. I think it's genetic sometimes. I don't actually know for sure, but when I say that I don't have a problem with drinking, I don't mean to make people sound like that do have a problem with drinking, like they're bad. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna play a song of mine that a dear fan of mine, has. Oh, hang on. All right. One of my dear friends in South Carolina who usually watches this live stream, she was asking about a song that I wrote earlier this year for a friend of mine who has cancer called Light the Dark. It's a song I wrote, and I've played it once on this podcast a while back. I'm going to play it again today. Just because it was calling me. And here's the guitar. That's coming through, right? Yeah. All right. This song's called Light the Dark. Doesn't often rain in this desert, but when it does, it can pour. Seems like when things happen around you, they come in a gigantic storm. There's been some awful news this year, but there's been some good news too. If anyone can light this darkness, darling, it's you. If anyone can light this darkness, darling, it is you. We have lots of ideas, but your soul knows exactly what to do. So we'll be here to see you through this, 'cause we believe in you. The gardener is pruning our branches, by the summer we'll have beautiful blooms. And if anyone can light this darkness, darling, it's you. If anyone can light this darkness, darling, it is you. Sometimes we have to surrender to outcomes and let ourselves be here now. Life, death, heaven, and hell, there's so many times in God's hands anyhow. At first we freaked out, then we thought about it and we knew if anyone can light this darkness, darling, it's you. If anyone can light this darkness, darling, it is you. If anyone can light this darkness, darling, it is you. If anyone can light this darkness, darling, it is you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Well, there's that song. That goes out to Jay Van in South Carolina. She said that's her new anthem, and I got to thinking about that song this week. You know, like I said so many times on this podcast, I write so many songs that I forget about them, and sometimes it's like a child. Maybe it's a child that, I don't know. I guess a good parent doesn't forget any of their children. But maybe, I don't know, it's like something like a squirrel who buries a nut that he forgot about or something. That's supposed to be funny. Let's see. Hang on. It's like, anyway, whatever. Why can't I find there? All right. That's supposed to be funny. You know, I write so many songs like squirrels bury so many nuts. Apparently, I just found out from Sarah Silverman, one of her jokes that my friend Allie sent me, that 80% of the nuts that squirrels bury, they forget where they're at. So that's probably like me with my songs. I write these songs, I totally forget them. And when I get perspective on them, because when you write a song, you're like, every day you're right there in it. And you have to, even every day you have to take a break from it because you have to get perspective, you know? That's the trick, I think, to all of this creative stuff is perspective. The subconscious is so powerful, but the more you focus on something, the more your conscious brain seems to come in and like just start to second guess everything, and you have to take a break for the day, come back to it the next day with a more fresh perspective. And then sometimes it takes months or years to get perspective on some of these songs. So that's what happened with that song. And all right, is anybody else still listening? I hope so. I'm having fun. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with these podcasts and stuff, and I hope you are too. I plan on doing this every week until my birthday in March, and then might reassess then and see if that seems like too much. But I figure either way, by March rolls around, I'll be pretty good at this. So I want to get good at this, and then I can decide how often I want to do it moving forward. But I really appreciate everybody who's tuned in and made it this far. Thanks for all the tips. And let's see, play a couple more songs here. Let's see what other songs. It's gonna play Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, I think. I'm gonna definitely end on Anthem by Leonard Cohen, but I want to do another one of my songs, I think, in the meantime. I think I got time for 2 or 3 more, so I will play my song called Haunting, which is another slow, sad song. So some people think sad songs are not good and they don't like them, and I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry that you feel that way. A lot of us really like sad songs. It's our only chance we can get in touch with that side of ourselves. You know, it's like a good excuse to get in touch with the sadder and somber side of things. And this is one of those songs. It's not sad. It's definitely hopeful. And is this guitar coming through? I'm still not convinced it is. Let me just see. It is. It should be. It should be fine. So anyway, this song is called Haunting. I think I played it on the last episode, which was 2 weeks ago. Fast Heart Mart songs. Thanks, Peter. Yeah. Thanks, Peter. Peter's great. You guys are all great. Thanks for everybody for coming today. What a bunch of heroes. We're all heroes for living through this storm that we're going through. I don't even want to talk about current events. I don't even know what's going on. I don't have an opinion yet. It's all so crazy, and maybe just sometimes you want to watch my thing so you don't have to pay attention to current events, and Because we don't always have to be constantly paying attention to current events, unless they're going to try to inject something into our arm. I'm just kidding. That's supposed to be funny. All right. I thought that was funny. Anyway, all right. Let me play this song called "Haunting." It's a song of mine. I think it's going to sound really good with this reverb, so I'm excited. I'm so excited to be making friends with reverb. Anybody knows me knows that synthetic reverb has been my enemy forever. Anytime somebody tries to put reverb on anything of mine, my voice, anything, I'm like, turn that off. I can't stand it. And a lot of my records, when I record, I use natural reverb. I put room mics up to get the natural reverb because that's good. Like Steve Albini is really good at getting natural room reverb. If you listen to the Nirvana record, In Utero, and if you listen to a Nirvana song called Sappy, which is not on In Utero, I don't think, it's from the sessions, but they didn't put it on the record. But Sappy is a great song from Nirvana, but if you listen to Kurt Cobain's vocal reverb on Sappy by Nirvana, it's a room reverb. It's a natural room reverb. And what happens is you have a mic like this, close mic, and then there was another mic. I think they said it was 4 feet away, and it was just a nice room. And the way they treated it, it's a great sounding vocal reverb. So check it out. It's coming through unamplified. It should be amplified, Peter. Let me just see something here. Mixer. I don't know. It might be. I can turn it up. Let me just turn it up here. That should be better. All right. This song's called "Haunting." My thoughts, they're haunting me again. They woke me up this morning. I did not want to leave my bed, 'cause my thoughts were haunting me again. Like demons they were possessing. I wish they'd let me be. Like demons they were possessing. Please just let me sleep. My heart can hardly catch its breath. My life feels like such a mess. Since I left you, my princess, my heart can hardly catch its breath. 1 foot out, 1 foot in, I need resolution. 1 foot out, 1 foot in, please give me resolution. Great folks make everything. Yes, I still have my faith. Her universe is providing Yes, I still have my faith. Oh, I still have my faith. Yes, I still have some faith. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, everybody. And I'm just gonna thank anybody who tipped today. I'm gonna see if anybody tipped me today. I'll thank them now. I know I'm risking a lot by like exposing myself, who's tipping and who's not. Looks like Dennis, thank you so much for tipping today. I appreciate that. And I'm assuming the rest of the tips will roll in. I've been making so much money on these podcasts. It's great. So thanks a lot, everybody who's donated in the past. I try to thank everybody. I did not make a list of anybody who donated to the last episode, which was the least watched episode yet. It was called, what was the last episode? Oh, it was called, Will There Be a Zombie Apocalypse? Hey, thanks, Peter. That's a great song. Thanks, Peter. I think it's one of my finest songs. I really do. That song is that's a good one. That's a good one. I wrote that in a van, my Volkswagen van, when I was feeling really at a low point. So, yeah, thanks a lot for all the tips, and I will try to make a list of all the people who donate, and I will always thank you in the next episode. But I didn't do that last episode because I don't think I got a whole lot of tips, and I think I thanked those people in person or something. It was called "Will There Be a Zombie Apocalypse?" and I thought it was a mellow episode. I didn't think it was my finest episode. I thought episode 50 was probably the best one yet. And that one's actually been the most watched episode. Actually, that's not true. Kurt Cobain canceled by the conservatives is the most watched episode. I think that was episode 47 or something. I don't know. Anyway, but thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. And I'm gonna play one more song. I'm just gonna play a Leonard Cohen song, because Leonard Cohen, man, he's great. I just did a blog post about Leonard Cohen's final album. It's called "You Want It Darker," and it's one of those albums that it's been out since 2016. In fact, did you realize that Leonard Cohen died the day before Donald Trump was elected president? And his last record is called "You Want It Darker." And you know how I feel about Donald Trump. I'm like indifferent about Donald Trump, but Donald Trump, when Donald Trump became president, the world became a lot darker. And I don't think it's because of Donald Trump. I think there was just a lot of issues going on. People want to blame Donald Trump, but I don't think. And anyway, I just think it's interesting that Leonard Cohen died the day before Donald Trump was elected president, and his last record is called "You Want It Darker." Check out that record, and I did a blog post. You can see it on my website. It's called "You Want It Darker," and there's some great songs on there. All right. Oh, don't worry, Peter. You've donated so much in the past, dude. I invested all the money you donated in the past into silver, so I've still got that. Does anybody else buy silver out there? I'm hoping one of these silver companies will sponsor my podcast, because a lot of my favorite creators get sponsored by the gold and silver companies, which I think you can't argue with investing in that stuff. But I don't know. Investing is so tacky. Anyway, but you got to do it. I'm 46 years old. I got to look out. I got to look out for my finances. So I got to invest. Anyway, this song's called Anthem by Leonard Cohen. I'm going to change my harmonica because I need another one. Thanks for everybody for watching. I know we're right at 1 hour, so it's going to go over just a little bit. But the cool line in this song, of course, is the chorus is, "Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in." And those are beautiful. That's beautiful stuff, man. And that's what makes Leonard Cohen so amazing. Just succinct lines like that. And his last record's got him too. I'm trying to think of one of his last record. And I can't think of anything right now. But read that blog post. I quoted some of them. So, all right. The birds they sing at the break of day. Start again. I heard them say, don't dwell on what's passed away, but what is yet to be. Are the wars that we fought again, the holy dove we caught again, bought and sold and bought again. The dove is never free. Here goes, y'all. Ring the bells, still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. We asked for signs, the signs were sent. The birth betrayed, the marriage spent. The widowhood of every government. The signs for all to see. I can't run no more with that lawless crowd, while the killers in our faces are saying the prayers out loud. Yeah, they've summoned up a thundercloud. They're gonna hear from me. Ring the bell, they still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Light up the signs, but you won't have a song. You can strike up the march, there is no drum. Every heart to love will come like a refugee. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Ring the bell, it still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, as always. And everybody, be good to yourselves. I will see you next week, God willing. And have a good week. Have a good one out there, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye.